Hello friends, once again I welcome you to my YouTube channel My Grammar Classes, a channel which is designed for net set aspirants. In this episode of lecture we are going to discuss the most awaited term, that is imitation. Now this video will be divided into 4 points. Particularly the first point is what Plato says about the word imitation and what examples does he give, and then what are the views of Aristotle on that and how does he argue with Plato. So let us begin our discussion by discussing the term imitation. Imitation is translated from the Greek word mimesis, and everything around us is a copy. Everything around us is a copy, and that is the replica of something. So imitation is nothing but replica or copy of something. And now what actually Plato has to say about this, let us see. Plato has used this word imitation for the first time in his The Republic, or the Ideal State. While using this term, what actually he does is he doesn't give any place for the poets in his Republic. And the reason for that, he says that poetry is nothing but imitation. Okay, it is imitation and false. And because of this reason, there was a lot of disagreement and conflict which arose, which really could grab everybody's attention, and then people were arguing with each other regarding this itself. And why does he say that the poetry is a falsehood and poetry does not really tell truth? Why does he say so? Let us take some examples so that you will get a clear picture of that. Poetry is falsehood, it is truly removed from truth and reality according to him, and the poets are the liars according to him. And to stand by his opinion, he gives one example of the carpenter. When a carpenter makes a bed, so he says, where does he get that idea of making a bed? So he says the original bed was there in the heaven, and the carpenter tried to imitate that bed which was there in the heaven. So the carpenter's bed is not the original bed, so it is the copy of the original bed which is there in the heaven. Whereas he also says, when a painter paints that bed or a poet describes that bed, it means it is twice removed from truth and reality. So that is not also true. That is not also true to the poet or a painter. And hence what he says, this is twice removed from truth and reality, because the already bed was made by the carpenter, and when the painter paints it, it is already removed from the truth and reality, and or when the poet describes it, it is already removed from the truth and reality. And after giving these examples, he doesn't give any place to the poets in his Republic, and because of this reason there was a lot of controversiality. There was a lot of controversy which really raised his people to answer this problem. Now Aristotle was no doubt the father of criticism, and his name is very famous in criticism itself. He was the disciple of Plato, but when he was trying to answer the issue, he did not mention the name of his teacher. He did not do any such a thing which really offend his teacher's image, and without harming him, without offending his image, he tries to answer how poetry is not imitation, or poets they don't imitate anything. So according to Aristotle, poetry is not imitation, and poets are not mere liars. So everything is imitation, there is no doubt. Okay, poetry is not truth, he also says. If it is not truth also, it is not less than that also, he says. So it is more than that. And the poets, they create something of their faculty by using imagination, by using their sense of knowledge, and that is how the poetry is given life. So what Plato had said, that the poets, they talk about a huge shaped giant which we never have heard of. But it is not only about talking about such a giants. They use their imaginary levels to create such ideas in order to make something possible to read and to give a different shape to the poetry. But it doesn't mean that they are lying, they are telling something which is false, based on falsehood or lie. The another example which Aristotle gives in order to defend his master Plato that poetry differs from other fields. Okay, there are three ways poetry differs from other fields: that the manner of imitation, okay, the mode of imitation, and the object of imitation. So the manner of imitation, the mode of imitation, and object of imitation. So these are the three ways what poetry differs. Now poetry, or the poets, they talk about what will be there, what can be there, or what something would like to be there. They don't tell something like the historians which they represent as it is, the things which are there. So poetry doesn't talk about a particular thing, but it talks about a permanent thing. According to Aristotle, there is nothing doubt, everything is a replica of something, but poets, they use their faculty of imagination in order to give a life to the poetry. So this is something I just wanted to tell you in order to understand the theory of imitation, or you can say imitation, the word which has become very controversial as far as the views of two scholars are based. But now Aristotle had given it a different shape. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Have a good day ahead.